I'm taking this video to show you what my feathers and swirls look like, and I usually use it on a quilt that is fairly busy. And this pattern is really good for if you're giving a quilt to a child or someone and you really want them to use the quilt. I'm going to get closer here. The whole pattern is based upon feathers. So I make a feather, and then in transitioning to another feather, I fill it in with swirls and other figures to fill in the space. But basically, it's based on feathers. And the stitching is about an inch apart. And I am quilting 24 inches at a time, because that's how big it is between my bars. I'll back it up. So that's 24 inches there. This one I happen to use black batting because on really dark fabric, sometimes the needle holes show the white batting every once in a while. The thread is a really dark, deep beige, but it shows up pretty light because this fabric is so dark. Oh, let's see if we can find the next feather. There it is. So you can see how I echo around at one time, and then I go into my swirls so that I can put a feather about every 12 inches or so. Oh, there's another one. And this, it's going to take about 5 passes to get over this quilt. So I think I have about 1 or 1.5 more passes to make. So I just wind it up onto the back bar, and that exposes the fabric that hasn't been quilted yet. There's another one. I'm using about 10 stitches per inch, 10 to 12. And I'm using a 100% polyester thread that looks like cotton, but it's very tough. I always sew off the edge of the quilt. That's because that way your quilt lays really flat. When you bind it, you don't have any puckers. And that's the edge. I'll back up and so you can see my machine. There's the front. I can sew from the front or the back. You can see the handles back there. Here's where I keep my self-threading needles so that when I stop or start, I can put the thread underneath the fabric so it doesn't show. Here's my control panel. The laser is when I quilt in the back, you can follow a pattern if you want to. There you go. There's all my thread in the back. Some of it.